I'm sorry. I just have to say this. This woman is making me feel ick.
Your relationship with Caitlin Albert goes back not just weeks or months or years, it goes back a decade.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up, we live in the same town, so we went through all the same school systems and everything.
And you said you reviewed testimony with whom?
I watched the testimony from the first trial. It was Mr. Brennan, myself, a witness advocate, and perhaps Trooper Tully.
Hi, Jennifer. Saying hi to Jennifer McCabe real quick because I know she's watching. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up. It's the Law with Attorney Larry Foreman. Folks, today we are going to go back in time to Katie McLaughlin. Now, her testimony, you guys, we're going to dive right into the cross-examination. We're skipping Brennan. Nobody cares what he has to say, what he has to ask of Katie. We want Jackson. Jackson is going to be doing the cross, and then tomorrow we're going to do a little bit more of the cross, a little bit of the redirect, and the recross by Jackson. So it's going to be in two parts, and also today and tomorrow we're going to do Kevin O'Hara, but that's later. So without further ado, I bring you the cross-examination of Katie McLaughlin in Massachusetts versus Karen Reed in May of 2025. Let's go.
Who did you speak with before your testimony today, in anticipation of your testimony today?
I met with the DA's office a few times.
Who at the DA's office?
Mr. Brennan, a witness advocate, and there were different troopers there at different meetings.
How many meetings were there?
3.
3. When were they?
One in maybe January was just a meeting. One a few weeks ago, we reviewed the testimony from the last proceeding, and then yesterday, briefly, to say that I'm getting called and I'm going today. And
wait a minute.
If I had any questions.
So she has been reviewing her testimony in the previous proceeding. And by the way, for those of you who may be thinking like, oh, that does not seem very good. Like, obviously, she's going to be lying. We all know that. But actually, it's very, very smart to review your testimony from the previous proceeding, whether or not you're telling the truth or not. Honestly, I can't really ding her on that. That's good preparation to prepare a witness. What have you said previously? Just to make sure, like, oh, that's right. I forgot about this fact. Because sometimes you forget things, legitimately forget things. So reviewing testimony is always a good idea.
Let's talk about the one a couple of weeks ago.
This is not the case.
At the DA's office.
And you said you reviewed testimony with whom?
I watched the testimony from the first trial. It was Mr. Brennan, myself, a witness advocate, and perhaps Trooper Tully.
Sorry, another reminder to the jury that she just said from the first trial. I mean, we know that the jury already knew because Alessi hammered this point in one of his cross-examinations very early on in the trial. But now it's just one more reminder that this is trial number 2. So that means, again, if there's at least one juror that knows the term hung jury or mistrial, they are 100% on notice that they are in a retrial for this woman. Fascinating.
And you and Mr. Brennan went over your testimony at the last proceeding, correct?
We just watched it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There obviously were questions about that testimony once you finished watching it, I'm guessing, correct?
I guess so.
Discussed certain aspects of the testimony, is that right?
Yeah.
Mr. Brennan told you that, for instance, he was going to bring out on direct examination, his examination, your relationship with Caitlin Albert, correct?
He said, I will ask you about the relationship.
And that was in anticipation of me asking about that relationship, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
Mr. Brennan told you that he wanted to make sure that he brought out that information so that it wasn't brought out on cross-examination by me.
Objection.
Sustained.
What did Mr. Brennan say about the reason he wanted to bring out the relationship with Caitlin Albert?
There was no reason that he gave.
But he did tell you that he wanted to make sure that y'all covered that on direct examination during his examination, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
No, Jackson, I know exactly what Jackson is doing. In case you're confused, Jackson is intentionally asking objectionable questions because he wants the jury to hear what happened. Remember, in the first trial, the relationship between Caitlin Albert and, Caitlin Albert and Katie McLaughlin. I mean, those two are like two peas in a pod. We saw the photographs. Thank you, Turtle Boy. Shout out to you for leaking those in the first trial. And Brennan knew that it's going to be an issue in trial number 2. So Jackson is just simply, he's testifying. The jury already believes Jackson, absolutely believes him. And when Jackson is saying all of these facts about, well, you were being prepared by Brennan in order to be ready for my questions and cross-examination, correct? Objection, sustained. The jury heard it. You can't unring the bell. Jackson knows that. And there are certain tactics, cross-examination tactics, where you simply ask questions. The answer is irrelevant. The objection is irrelevant. It's just a nug for the jury, just so that they're aware that, number one, there was a previous proceeding that she just admitted to. And he didn't really prompt it. He simply was like, previous proceeding. And she said, yeah, in the first trial. She said it, not him. So Jackson's hands are clean. Number one. And number two, that's a failure to prepare a witness by Brennan. It has nothing to do with Jackson. Because McLaughlin, she has no idea what's going on. She's just a witness. She's just a little, I'll refrain from insulting her further for now. Although she may do it to herself through testimony. But I will say that, again, remember, Jackson is testifying. Katie is just a puppet. Cross-examination techniques.
Did he say something like that?
No.
Did you say something like that? I would like this information brought out so it's not brought out on cross-examination.
No.
At the last hearing when you testified about a year ago, that wasn't brought out on direct examination, was it? Objection.
Sustained.
But it's true.
In your testimony a year ago, you did not disclose in your initial conversation the fact of your relationship
Notice
with...
how she keeps looking at Brennan. Her eyes keep darting over to like, are you going to object to this one, buddy? You going to object to this one? Help me out here. Help me out here. Pay attention to her eyes. She's already done it like 100 times, and it's only been 2.5 minutes.
Miss Albert, did you?
I object. I move for an instruction.
So the objection sustained. Next question.
Who was it that asked the question about Miss Albert a year ago?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you tell anyone, Trooper Proctor, any investigator, anybody from the DA's office last year about your relationship with Caitlin Albert?
Objection.
I'll allow that.
No, only when there started to be a lot of harassment and things that,
Oh my God.
insinuations and stuff that started coming out
She didn't just...
online. I had said maybe once to them that I was concerned I was being harassed.
My question, Miss McLaughlin.
Wait a
was-
minute, but notice her body language. She's like, I was being concerned over being harassed, and like, that's not a person who has been harassed. Someone who has been legitimately harassed would go, of my legitimate concern of being harassed and harangued on the internet, it was really frustrating and really upsetting to deal with. Someone who's lying would say, I was very upset by being harassed by the people on the internet. You see the distinction? I mean, come on, it's too easy. This woman hasn't told a truthful statement since the day she was born.
Before the information was disclosed, which was during the first proceeding,
Objection.
Let's hear the question.
before that information was disclosed during the first proceeding, in any of your interviews with Michael Proctor or anybody else from the DA's office, did you disclose, from the Massachusetts State Police or anybody from the DA's office, did you disclose, did you volunteer that you had a relationship with people Albert before the first proceeding?
No.
Yeah, I'm saying I told the DA about the harassment and the
That's not the question.
insinuations. That was before the first trial.
That's not
when
the
I met with
question.
them.
How was there harassment and insinuations if it hadn't been disclosed at the first proceeding?
Because it's out there everywhere on the internet and has been.
Before the first proceeding, Ms. McLaughlin,
It's-
before you ever testified. That's my question. Do you understand my question?
It's been going on since before the first proceeding.
Oh my
If you
gosh.
hadn't testified at the first proceeding, at which point it was revealed, how could you have ever
Yeah.
suffered any harassment for it?
Yeah.
It wasn't disclosed yet, Ms. McLaughlin. Do you understand?
No, she doesn't
I
understand.
don't think you understand what I'm saying.
Who did you tell at the DA's office?
The relationship that I had with Caitlin Albert had been out there. It had been published and proliferated on the internet. And so that was before the first proceeding.
And who did you tell at the DA's office about this before the first proceeding?
I don't remember who it was. at the
Liar.
meeting, but
Was it Mr. Lowry?
it could have been.
Do you have a memory of that?
Not specifically. I don't remember who it was.
Was it Miss McLaughlin?
Like I said, I don't remember
Not-
specifically.
obviously, Miss Laura McLaughlin, no relationship.
Like I said, not specifically.
Let's talk about that initial call to 34 Fairview. You responded to the call of an unresponsive male in the snow. That was early morning hours of January 29th, correct?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I just have to say this. This woman is making me feel ick. I've never had a chance to use that word before, but that's the only way I can describe it. Does anybody, let me know in the comments below if you feel the same way. Like, I am just, like, I look at her and I don't feel good just by looking at her. Have you ever had that? I've never had that, like, in a very, very, very long time. Even Jennifer McCabe doesn't make me feel this way, and that woman is a monster. At least she wears her heart on her sleeve, you know what I'm saying? There is something about Katie McLaughlin that's just so chilling, so ice cold. I can't put my finger on it. But like, I look at her face and I feel sick. Is it just me? Let me know in the comments below. I can't shake this feeling. This is so weird. I don't remember the last time I felt this way. I mean, even Brian Albert in the last trial, he made me feel all sorts of things, but definitely not like this. I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me out, because I'm trying to pinpoint where this feeling is coming from, and I'm curious if y'all are feeling the same way.
Once you were there, Mr. O'Keefe had been...
Maybe it's that deathly hollow stare that is so lifeless and just empty. Like, she's not looking at Jackson. She's just a shell of a human, and we're looking at basically a skeleton without a soul. Maybe that's what it is. Like a devil incarnate. I don't know. I can't figure it out. You tell me.
Placed on a gurney and moved to the ambulance. You were instructed to go get information about the victim.
Yes.
You've described in a video the basic scene where you claim that this statement was made by my client, correct?
Yes.
That was a situation in which you're standing there, which Reed is standing there.
I hit him.
Reed is standing across from you, and there's... Correct?
Miss Reed was on the right, Miss McCabe was on the left, and then there was a officer kind of diagonal across from me.
Mr. McLaughlin, can you tell me if you recognize the still shot depicted in that photograph?
I recognize me in it, yes.
And when is that approximately, does that approximate what you're describing? Is that time in which you're standing there, I'm guessing in the yellow jacket, Miss Reed's to your right, Miss McCabe's to your left, and there's an officer standing directly across from you?
Yes.
Was this the time that...
Did you catch that coughing too a few seconds ago, by the way? I think that's a reminder. Talk less information, only answer the question presented, continue being deceptive. Hey, remember, cough, cough. Hey, remember, focus. Don't lose your focus. I'm telling you, those dry coughs are legitimately scheduled. They cough at the exact right moment when they need to alert the witness testifying as to what they need to do, just to remind them sometimes.
You indicate that that statement was made?
Around this time.
Do you remember the name of the officer that was standing directly across from you when you indicate that this statement was made?
I didn't know, but I am aware now.
And by the way, that officer's name is what?
Officer Sarif.
You're describing a situation in which you're standing there, Miss Reed is next to you, within earshot is a uniformed police officer, and she said, I hit him, correct?
Correct.
Then he said, what? Is that right?
So it's, I hit him, Miss McCabe interjected, and then she said, I hit him, and then the officer said, you what? And then she said, I hit him, and he said, go get Goody down here.
Okay, so is that 3 times or 4 times that you indicate she said I hit
4 times.
And you, according to you, you indicate that at the time that she made these statements, she was hysterical and somewhat out of control. Is that right?
She was upset, I would say hysterical, yeah.
Did you describe her?
And remember, everyone else is cool as a cucumber because everything is going according to plan. When I say everyone, I mean the witnesses, like Jennifer and Brian and Higgy and all of them. Karen is the only one freaking the hell out because she's the only one out of the loop. Remember that.
Last year is obviously upset, overly frantic, and almost hysterical.
Yeah, I believe it. I remember that.
Okay.
That's the video.
Did you see the 2 people enter from screen right?
Yes.
Who is that?
That would be myself and Miss Reed.
Okay, this is the first point at which you and Miss Reed begin to converge with the other 2 individuals, Miss McCabe and the officer, correct?
I had started trying to gather the information prior to this, and then she was moving around, so I had kind of was following her, asking the questions, and then we eventually came, here to this point and came to a stop.
So my answer, your answer is yes. This is the point at which you converged with Miss McCabe and the officer.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You see yourself sort of in the foreground in the bright jacket,
Yep.
and Miss Reed's just on the other side of you, correct?
Yes.
Standing there.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, leave the lights on. Ms. McLaughlin, during that video, that's the time in which you say, or you claimed last year that Ms. Reed was, in your words, obviously upset, overly frantic, and almost hysterical, correct?
Yes.
Did she look almost hysterical in that video?
She was, well, in that video, that could not explain what that scene was like.
Did she look overly frantic in that video?
She was frantic throughout the whole scene. I think that was...
Wait, what was that glance? Did she think like, oh, objection coming to rescue me? No? Oh, damn it. I have to answer now. Answer for your crimes, Katie.
Me describing the entire scene.
I see.
Yeah.
So she did not look overly frantic in that video.
She was upset, for sure.
Was she overly frantic and almost hysterical in that video? Just now.
I don't know that you could really see from that video.
Did you see anything that appeared to be overly frantic and almost hysterical?
Like I said, that video's not really you can't hear anything, so it's hard to...
Was she running around?
She had been.
I didn't ask you if she had been.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that happened. When she's standing there with you, was she running around?
No, she had just stopped running around.
Was she gesticulating?
I don't know.
Do you know what that means?
I don't.
Was she using her arms and going crazy?
Gesture.
The hands and arms running in
Gesticulating.
circles?
She had been, but
didn't
like I
ask you if
said...
she had been.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I
I'm
think...
asking you about what happened before you
You're-
got there. I'm asking
Oh.
you what happened when... I'm sorry.
Question and answer, please.
Thank you. I'm not asking you what happened before we got to that video. All right? I'm asking you about the video in which you described her previously as being overly frantic and almost hysterical. Did she look like she was just gesticulating and moving her arms and spinning in circles?
Not in that video.
Okay, thank you. And according to you, that's the point at which Ms. McCabe said, I think you need to calm down. Correct?
Yes.
And according to you, that's the point at which McCabe said, you're hysterical. Correct?
Yes.
Just so I'm clear, who in that video, Ms. Reed or Ms. McCabe, appeared to be doing most of the talking?
You cannot see from that video.
Who in that video
I don't know.
appeared to be gesticulating with her arms? My client or Ms. McCabe?
I think Miss McCabe was doing that, saying you need to calm down. You're hysterical.
Oh, the whole time she's gesticulating, she's saying, calm down, Karen, you're being hysterical. Calm down, you're hysterical. Just repeating that?
She was trying to get her to stop and to calm down because of the statement she was making,
I see.
and she was trying to get her to stop, calm down.
I see. Okay. So during that entire video, that was probably 40, 50 seconds or so, maybe it's a minute. That's when you're saying
What?
how McCabe was gesticulating and saying, "Calm down, Karen. You need to stop making statements. Calm down." Right? That's what she was doing.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you'll agree that
Yannetti
Ms.
looks
Cade
very
was
unimpressed.
Standing relatively quietly to your right, not saying much of anything.
No, what she had just said, she had seemed upset when she said that, and what she said was obviously Miss McCabe was trying to convince her that that was not, you need to calm down.
Folks, do you see what is happening here? It's like this trial in this moment in time has literally went from Karen Reed being the defendant to Katie being the defendant on trial. Katie's just supposed to be a witness who witnessed what happened, but because she's lying through her teeth, because she's making stuff up, she's changing testimony, she is being inconsistent, untruthful, manipulative. Jackson is putting her in the hot seat, and it is working. It is working. She is falling apart, and the jury sees it all. Trust me. She barely looks at the jury. She just kind of glances. She gives them like this little side eye every once in a while. She looks at Brennan and the judge more than she looks at jury, which is extremely telling. And a little help here. Can you help me out here? And then someone's like, okay, are my lies like failing or are they falling? Are they getting it? Is it working? You know, and then most of the time she just stares at Jackson, obviously, the speaker that she's speaking to. That's normal. I am so impressed. Jackson is doing a phenomenal job. Absolutely phenomenal. Let's keep watching. This is amazing stuff.
Stop saying that.
Right in front of a police officer who never said he heard her say it.
Objection.
Oh! The officer never said he heard her say that. Only you did. Selective hearing. Officer Seraph standing right next to you. And Seraph never said, oh, she said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. Only you did. And Jennifer McCabe. Selective memory, selective hearing, or just outright deception. You decide.
I hit him, repeated 4 times. Where was Officer Flamati? I'm sorry, where's Firefighter Flamati and Firefighter Nuttall?
In the ambulance.
With the doors closed.
Yes.
You testified that you went back to the ambulance at some point, and you told Firefighter Flamati and Firefighter Nuttall what you claim to have heard. You told this jury, correct?
I went back to the ambulance after that, and I told them what was said and gave them the demographic information that I got.
Okay. So, in other words, Firefighter Flamati and Firefighter Nuttall heard it from you. You didn't say it to somebody else, and they reported it to those two. They heard it directly from you, correct?
I went back and I said, I gave the demographics, and I said, she's saying I hit him.
Right. So, in other words, they heard that from you.
I gave them.
Objection.
Is that yes or no?
Objection.
She answered the question.
I want to ask you a couple of questions about.
She just, also, just like every other witness, she just can't say yes or no. She just can't. She just can't. It's so stupid. Just say, yes, that's correct. No, that's not correct. Well, actually, so the answer to my question is yes. Well, so the answer to my question is yes. Well, yes. You could have saved 5 minutes of your time, and instead you just, oh my God, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane.
You were asked at a hearing about a year ago, back in May last year, May 3rd, as a matter of fact, 2024, about that relationship. Do you remember what your answer was?
No, not specifically.
You remember saying, in response to the question, who's Caitlin Albert? Asked by me.
I don't remember specifically what I said.
Oh, here we go.
Did you
Impeachment.
say, I went to high school with someone named Caitlin Albert?
Have the page number in line, please.
Oh,
May 3rd
yes.
transcript,
Oh, yes.
10-24, lines 2 and 3. Did you say, I went to high school with someone named Caitlin Albert?
I believe so.
Refresh your recollection, say look at your transcript.
Sure.
Okay, refresher.
Did that refresh your recollection as to what your answer was to the question, who's Caitlin Albert?
Yes.
Did you say, quote, I went to high school with somebody named Caitlin Albert?
Yes.
She's embarrassed.
Ms. McLaughlin, that was not a full and accurate statement of your relationship with Caitlin Albert, correct?
I object.
Was that accurate?
I mean, that's a fact. That's
Okay, next question.
Your Honor, I'd like to be seen.
Oh,
Right.
Brennan. Brennan's falling apart.
Go ahead.
In answer to that question, open-ended question, who is Caitlin Albert, you didn't offer up in that first initial response, you didn't offer up, you didn't say we're friends, did you?
we're not.
You didn't say that we are in the same friend group, did you?
No,
You didn't say we've been friends since high school.
no,
You said, I went to high school with someone named Caitlin Albert, correct?
yes.
Almost as if you just saw her name in a yearbook.
No, I don't agree with that.
That's not true, is it? I mean, that wouldn't be true, correct? Because you did know Caitlin Albert.
That is true. And you asked me if I knew her, and I said yes. And you asked me if I'm friends with her, and I said I wouldn't say friends.
You wouldn't say friends.
Right.
Even as you sit here today, you would not say that you're friends with Caitlin Albert.
No.
You wouldn't say that you've been friends for years.
We've known each other for years.
That wasn't my question.
We've known each other for years, but we are not close friends. We don't have a relationship, just her one-on-one.
He didn't ask if you. He just asked if you are friends, and the answer is yes. Why? I mean, keep dodging, please. You look like a complete fool. But why? Just admit it, own it, and move on. These people are just incorrigible. They make themselves, they take so you understand from a jury's perspective and from your own perspective, those of you who may be watching this trial for the first time, you may be able to figure it out as well. Because if you saw the first trial, it's a bit harder to put yourself in the shoes of someone who has no idea what's going on. Trust me, I know. I'm one of them. But it's like this. The longer you drag out the answer, like imagine I were to ask you, who are you dating? And you are dating someone, and you were to lie and say, no one, I may just leave it alone. I'd be like, okay, they said no one. So you're single. Yes. Okay. You're not dating anyone. You're single. Cool. Anyway, so, how about that hockey game or whatever people talk about? I don't know. I don't hang out with people. Now let's flip the script. Okay. Same question. I'm asking you, the viewer. Are you dating anyone? Well, not specifically. Wait, hold on. What do you mean not specifically? Well, like not currently, like in the moment. I'm not currently in this moment in time. I'm not dating anyone. Wait, hold on. It's a simple question. Are you or are you not? What do you mean? Like, do you have like a situationship? Do you have like a situation shit? Do you have a relationship? Like, what's going on? No. I'm. You know what? Forget it. I'm not dating anyone. You see the difference between those two statements? Both end in I'm not dating anyone. But in the first example, it's just open, direct, and although a lie, I don't know that it's a lie, but I'm not tipped off. Katie McLaughlin is answering every question with the second kind of category of like dodge, 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 answer. Dodge, 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 answer. Dodge, dodge, answer. And it's so bad. It makes her look even worse because the relationship is innocuous. At the end of the day, the relationship between her and Caitlin Albert means absolutely nothing. Katie is making it seem like it's something because of her dodginess. You see the irony of all of this? She's trying to downplay it like it's not relevant. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. Stop asking. You see, this little it's nothing, stop asking is now, I'm very curious to know why, because I know this is important, because clearly you don't like it. If she had just been like, yeah, we've been friends, so what? You've known her for a long time. Yeah, and? It's a small community. We all know each other. Too late. Watching this video can't save you now, Katie. Hi, Jennifer. Saying hi to Jennifer McCabe real quick, because I know she's watching.
It's just group settings.
You grew up in the same town together, correct?
We did.
Went to the same middle school together.
Correct.
Went to the same high school together.
Yes.
Socialized with her.
Yes.
Taken day trips with her and others.
Yes.
Small community.
Beach trips with her and others.
Yes.
Taken 4th of July weekend getaways with her and others.
I don't remember that, but
One of your best friends named Michaela actually lived with Caitlin Albert in college, didn't she?
Oh, she was looking for a rescue. Did you see it? She was looking for a rescue and when it never came. She's like, damn it.
Your best friend at that residence where she lived with Caitlin Albert on more than one occasion, didn't she?
Yeah, occasionally I would go to visit the friends that I had there.
You would even spend the night in the apartment with her, correct?
Maybe a handful of times, yes.
You've taken photographs with Caitlin Albert, correct?
I'm in pictures with her, yes.
You've been to baby showers with Caitlin Albert over the years.
I have attended a baby shower with her,
Had
yes.
celebrations with her over the years. Correct?
Yeah, we socialize, like I said, group settings, social events. I will see her.
May I approach briefly?
Yes.
This is amazing.
May I stay by the witness stand just so I can take the photographs back? Can you describe, first of all, take a quick glance through that series of pages and tell me if you recognize what's depicted in those pages?
Yes.
How do you recognize, generally, how do you recognize those documents? What are they?
Objection.
What?
The objection is sustained.
Are those photographs?
Yes.
Objection.
Oh.
The photographs. Next question.
Who's depicted in the first photograph?
Myself.
Objection.
What?
Do you see, does every one of those photographs include you?
Objection.
Sustained.
Why?
Does every one of those photographs include Caitlin Albert?
Objection. I'd like a curative instruction.
Sustained.
The reality is,
Oh, I see what Jackson did. Oh my God, that is brilliant. Okay, for those of you confused, let me explain. This is amazing. Remember in the first trial, and he knew this was going to happen in the second trial, I just got chills how brilliant this is. So Jackson knows that these photos will never be admitted into evidence. He found a way to admit them into evidence without admitting them into evidence. Listen to this. Ms. Caitlin Albert, look at these. You recognize these? Yes. What are they? Objection. Okay, well, what are they? Photos. Okay, cool. Are you in them? Yeah, objection. Okay. Is Caitlin Albert in them? Yes. Objection. I want a curative instruction. Delete, Your Honor, the men in black, these jurors, delete the fact that they don't need to know this stuff. This is you. They don't need to see the photos anymore. They have seen the photos in their mind, and that is enough. They believe Jackson. They trust Jackson. I remember when I spoke to Annie and Will in a previous video that I just shared clips from that one on my channel. By the way, if you haven't seen that video from a couple days ago, it is amazing. And it's not just because I made it, but because I had inside information from people, my friends, my friend Will and my newly found friend Annie. Shout out to you both. The Glare, and I think she's 10 to Life or something like that. I know she's 10 to Life on Twitter, but I'm not sure what she's on YouTube. She may be under Annie. Is it Elise? Ellis? I'm sorry. I just met her. Anyway, doesn't matter. The point is, check them both out. They're amazing people. They both were inside the courtroom, and they said that Jackson was being followed by the jury like, whoop, 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 whoop. That was just last week. This was obviously a little bit longer ago, but I imagine probably not much different. So by the virtue of Jackson saying, hey, these are photos. You're in them. Caitlin is in them. And it's a stack of them. You recognize them? Uh-huh. They got it. No need to clarify.
your relationship with Caitlin Albert goes back not just weeks or months or years, it goes back a decade or more. Matter of fact, more than a decade.
I grew up we live in the same town, so we went through all the same school systems and everything.
May I approach?
Yes.
If I can have this, please. The reality is, you did more, Caitlin Albert, than simply go to the same.
Did you see that glance that she just gave him? That puppy dog, please don't kill me glance? If you missed it, go back a few seconds. It's you can't make this stuff up. She looked right at him like, don't murder me.
School system, is that right?
Yes.
One of these photographs has you on vacation with
Objection.
Caitlin Albert drinking, correct?
Sustained.
You've been photographed with Miss Albert on many occasions at many celebrations with your girlfriends, correct?
With a sidebar, please.
I'm going to allow that.
Is that right?
Been photographed on occasions.
On occasions, yes.
That wasn't my question, Your Honor.
Go ahead, ask
My
it.
question was, you've been photographed on many occasions and many celebrations with Caitlin Albert and your girlfriends, a group of girls that you just looked at.
Yeah.
Nailed her! To the wall.
And those include, as we went over just a second ago, 4th of July vacations, correct?
I'm not sure the dates on them.
I didn't ask you about the dates. I don't know the dates either.
Well, I don't know that was a 4th of July celebration. I'm not sure.
Do you see a beach photo with American flags in the background?
I'm objecting.
Sustained.
So you've had, those photographs represent some of the celebrations that you have had with Caitlin Albert and others in your friend group, correct?
I'm objecting.
Sustained.
You've gone on overnight vacations with Caitlin Albert, isn't that right?
There was one that I can remember, one overnight that I can remember with a big group of people.
Who was that? Where was that?
That was in Maine.
It was in Bethel, Maine, wasn't it?
Could have been. It was in Maine.
Have you been to more than one vacation in Maine with Caitlin Albert?
No, I don't know. That's the name of the town. I don't remember.
Just getting nervous.
You've indicated that you've had baby showers where you've attended with Caitlin Albert, correct?
I was invited to a baby shower, not Caitlin Albert's, but she was also invited to the baby shower.
Right, and the two of you posed for a photograph together, correct?
We posed around the girl that was having the baby.
Oh my god.
And who else?
A bunch of other girls, her friends.
Right, was one of them Caitlin Albert?
She was in the photo, yeah.
She's standing right next to you in the photo?
She could have been. Is that in there?
Oh my god.
Next question, Mr. Jackson.
It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion and you just like you can't look away, but it's just so bad. I love it. I love every second of it. And folks, I think this is a good place to stop. We're going to continue Katie McLaughlin tomorrow and finish her up on Memorial Day. The trial resumes Tuesday. So we are halfway through the long weekend, the long break. Well, actually, yeah, more than halfway through because we had Thursday off, Friday off, Saturday off. Those are all behind us. And now Sunday. So we have 2 more days before the trial resumes. I'm going to keep feeding you guys as much content as I possibly can. And don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. Call us if you need us, 1-844-774-HURT. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.